Hi everyone, so I have another plan with me for you today. I'll be planning for the week of June 10th through the 16th. This is going to be a very scary week for me because I am finally trying to attempt some white space planning, and I'm also utilizing day extenders the same week. These are ones I just kind of made myself. They're not even sticker paper, they're just normal paper that I glued down because I do have paper that I could use to cut out some day extenders for my own, and I will at some point, but I don't know, I was just feeling really lazy and decided that these would work just as well, especially if I'm just trying it out. So this is kind of my plan, just to use these. I did cut up an old invoice, so that's what that writing is, but hopefully a full box will be able to cover that up. Although I didn't really think about how hard it would be to put stickers down off the edge here, but I will come up with something for that. I can probably use a journaling card or something. Yeah, that should work. Anyway, so the kit that I'm using this week is the ScribblePrintsCo Party for 2019 kit. It's just called SBC Party 2019. It's kind of a Great Gatsby theme, kind of a 1920s just fabric roll in general. And I am using this for this week because I watched The Great Gatsby with my friend, and I knew I wasn't going to be using this for either the SBC party or for New Year's, so I wanted to use it to mark the Great Gatsby because it seemed perfect for that, so that's what I'm going to use it for. I did get the ultimate kit, so I have tons and tons of boxes. Here's the functional sheet, the 9th full box, and the extra, I think those are 3rd boxes up there. We have some fancy labels and little things, pattern fancy labels and headers, deco, etc., and then the bottom washi, and then the glitter sampler. And then I just threw this in just to show you, this is the checklist sheet that I don't ever use, so I'm going to put that off to the side right now. I did also get a few of the extras. I didn't get the label sampler extra because I knew I wouldn't need it, but I did get the Fashion Girls. I am going to use probably 9, 10. I think I just decided to use one, although that box is really pretty, so I'm going to use this in the sidebar instead of this one. I was going to use that one, but I didn't realize I'd want to use 2 from this sheet, so probably the sidebar, and then the washi add-on as well. Forgot to cut the washi ahead of time, so I'll probably do that in the sped up portion of the haul. Not the haul, the plan with me. I've been filming hauls so much lately that I'm befuddled. And here's the little Andrea Munchkin freebie that comes with the kit. And I'm also using the Champagne Lights wiggle, the foil wiggle from SBC as well. So it's kind of a sparkly champagne gold. And then I do have a ton of extra gold foil that I'm going to be throwing in as well, so it'll be my first time like actually pulling from my collection, I think, instead of like just using a wiggle or something. So this is going to be super crazy. It may take me a really long time to film because I have to get down all the foil in the boxes and everything perfectly before I get into the day by day, and that's all going to be sped up, but I'm gonna to really try to figure out how I'm going to do the bougie boxes and the day extenders and everything. So without any further ado, I think I'm just going to get into it, and you're going to watch me struggle, but hopefully I will come out on the other side having figured it out. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into the day by day. I will zoom in a second, but I already started putting down the stickers before remembering to do that. So on Monday, I'm using the movie marquee, obviously, to mark watching The Great Gatsby, and the strip above that, I'm going to mark, I don't know why I'm going backwards this day, but my friend Tyler, with whom I watched the movie, we stayed up talking late last night, so I'm marking that with the blue box, and then I'm using an alarm clock icon from the Wiggle. We went to the boardwalk that day. Then after that, we kind of walked on the beach a little bit, which was like right next to it. So that's what I'm marking with the footstep icon from the kit. I think that's supposed to be used to mark something like to do with babies, but I don't know. Footstep, I mean, it looks like feet, so it looks like footsteps. So I always kind of think of walking on the beach. So I did finally zoom in, and that third box that I'm putting down is actually to mark the boardwalk, which is kind of like our little mini theme park in our amusement park in our town, Santa Cruz. I am using a carousel icon left over from a really old kit that I haven't had a chance to use until now, so I'm really glad I get to use that. And then the fancy label above that is to mark work, and I'm using Whimsical Cat Studio Accounting Girl to mark that, and a work script from one of SBC's worksheets lettered by Jessica of J. Crew Plans. And then the strip below the boardwalk box, that's going to be used to mark that we had crepes at the boardwalk that day as well. And I'm using a sticker from Papershire to mark that from, I think, one of the freebies I got from her that had kind of lemon crepes on it. I don't remember if I got lemon crepes or strawberry, and I had both, but I just thought the lemon crepes looked really good with the kit colors. So chronologically that day, I went to work, we went to the boardwalk and had crepes at the boardwalk, and then we walked on the beach a little bit, and then we went home to my house, watched The Great Gatsby, and then we stayed up late talking. So I know I kind of planned that backwards, but that's what we did. And I'm also using a couple watching TV or watching a movie sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co. to mark that, but I mean, we were just friends. So on Tuesday, that work strip is obviously to mark work, and I worked really late that day. It was rough. So I'm using the work late script from that same foil sheet, the worksheet from SBC, and a Happy Day, a girl who's like falling asleep at her desk, to mark that. I was really tired because I only got like 3.5 hours of sleep because we stayed up so late talking the night before, and I had work at 6 in the morning, which was a bad idea. So that's a girl from Van City Stickers who's like really tired, to mark no sleep. And then I also did laundry, or finished doing laundry. So I'm using a laundry icon from the kit, and then a laundry script also from SPC, one of her newer scripts. So that book strip from the kit, I know there's really bad glare right now, but you'll see it later. That's to mark that I continued reading the book Serafina, which I was reading during my lunch break. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed that book. I like middle grade fantasy books a lot. So the strip below that with the little TV icon from the Wiggle is to mark that I watched Psych, because Tyler told me it was a good show and I should watch it. I know that a lot of other people watch it, like Jessica from Kittenish Girl Jess. She watches it. I could not get into it. I watched like a couple episodes and I thought it was alright, but not something I would want to continue. And then the fancy label below that with the SPC icon from the Wiggle is to mark that I got Happy Meal from ScribblePrintsCo. And then the strip below that I'm using with the kind of eyes closed face from the Wiggle to mark that I passed out that evening. So that, kind of looks like a little sleeping emoji right there. So I was obviously tired from only having 3.5 hours of sleep, so I went to bed really early that night. And I think that was the least amount of sleep I've probably ever gotten. That was really rough. I don't know how I survived that day, like without even coffee, because if I had coffee I would have marked it, so that's insane that I did that. Anyway, Wednesday, I had a lot more room on Wednesday because I was using the day extender, so I used a big ol' half box to mark that I had a great day at work. So I'm using the smiley face icon from the kit, and then a work script from the newer scripts from SPC. I was going to use the Andrea half box from the freebie with the kit, but I forgot, so whoopsie. Anyway, I'm using the quarter box strip below that with the books icon from the Wiggle to mark that I returned a book at the library. Don't remember which one because it wasn't Seraphina because I was reading that on my Kindle. So probably just a previous book. Okay, so now I'm trying to work out these other script situation because I guess I didn't remember I had those foil scripts until Wednesday, until I was doing Wednesday. And I was like, oh wait, now I have to go back and fill them in. I really like how the work scripts fit perfectly in the fancy label. I think they might be out of her shop now, which makes me really sad, so I'm gonna try and get more if they're still there. I'm gonna have to like really stock up because I like Jessica's scripts, especially the work ones. I wish it was like a whole giant sheet of those instead of a really tiny one. Anyway, I also called my parents that day, so there's a quarter box marking that with a phone icon from the Wiggle. And then the squared off half box, those aren't third boxes, I was wrong earlier, but they're half boxes with the TV icon from the Wiggle is to mark that I watched Family Guy that day. I think I was finishing binging it this week, as well as the previous week, I think. Yeah. And then the strip below that, I'm going to use another stack of books icon from the Wiggle. That's going to be marking that I finished Seraphina that day. Really cute, enjoyable book. Not the best middle grade book I've ever read. It's kind of upper mid tier if you ask me, but I still recommend it if you need something to read that's middle grade and you like that sort of thing. So then the half box at the very bottom is going to be marking that I pre-planned for the Plan With Me that I was going to film. So the Plan Next Week script is also an old one of Jessica's from SPC, from the planning sampler sheet. And then the the girl from Whimsical Cat Studio holding a planner is obviously to mark that as well. And I really liked how the planner that she's holding was blue and gold, the exact same colors from the kit, so I kind of had to use that. Even though it weirds me out that she has like random cat ears. Like, I know that's the whole point of Whimsical Cat Studio, but I'm not that into cat girls. I don't know, I just think it's funny. So Thursday I had work again that morning, so that's a fancy label to mark that with another one of Jessica's work scripts. And then I'm using a Sweet Davis paper Snowball the Cat as a cashier sticker to mark that I was a cashier that day. The third box underneath that is to mark sleeping in, so I'm using an emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co., who's all decked out in her pajamas with her little bunny or something. And I'm using a sleep in script from SPC's newer scripts to mark that. It's kind of a big script, so I'm glad I had the space to use a bigger box for that. I don't like layering scripts over character stickers. I always hated it when Andrea did it, and I was like, I'm never going to do that. But I honestly couldn't find any better place to put that, so because I used a really big emoji. So I had to. I don't think it looks good, but I had to. And then the little thing below that is to mark Family Guy, because I didn't have room for a bigger sticker, so I'm really glad that little things exist. Never thought I'd use one again, but they really come in handy for some white space planning. So the second book strip from the kit is used to mark that I started reading Pretty Little Liars. Man, it took me ages to finish that series, but I am done with it at this point that I'm filming. Then the fancy label below that is to mark that I cooked dinner that night, which I guess was a long affair, which is why I'm marking it. Often I meal prep, but that time I actually took time to cook dinner. So I'm using a spoon and fork icon from the Wiggle to mark that. And then the quarter box below that is to mark that I passed out and slept 12 hours because I guess I had Friday off. So, but I woke up early on Friday, so I must have went to bed really early. Wow. Anyway, I'm using a Pandario sticker from Happy Dea, who's like passed out on the floor sleeping, to mark that. I'm like running out of that sheet like so fast because I use so much from that sheet. I have other sleeping stickers. I do. I just need to use them. I just keep reaching for that sheet, which is a good sign. It means I need to get more. So Friday, let's see. I woke up early that day and went downtown to have brunch with Tyler. So I'm using a third box from the kit and another spoon or a fork and knife icon actually from the Wiggle. The strip below that is to mark that I called my parents again that day. I'm using a phone icon from the Wiggle. And then I had work later that afternoon. I was a cashier again, so I'm using an emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. to mark that. A really tiny one. And then another work script from that same sheet. I'm like, I need to like look up and see if they're still in our shop. I'm gonna do that like right now while I'm filming this voiceover, because like I'm gonna kick myself if I didn't get enough of those. I think they're discontinued, but I'll let you know before the end of this voiceover because I'm doing it right now. So then after that, I kind of realized that Tyler and I would only ever be just friends, and I was fine with that. So I was kind of interested in getting back into dating. So I started getting a dating app again, and I started talking to a guy named Carson. So marking that with a fancy label, and then a little emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. who's like texting. And then the quarter box below that is to mark that I was really mad at one of my coworkers, Bryant, that day. Like, he has always like really annoyed me. I'm okay with him now, but he went through a long phase of just really annoying me. So I'm using a middle finger foil sticker from Sticky Sloth Designs, which I think is hilarious, and then an emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. who's like saying shut up, because that was like me. I wanted him to shut up. Anyway, so oh yeah, below that I'm using a stack of books icon from, not from the Wiggle, but from another foil sheet, but and that's to mark that I read more Pretty Little Liars, the first book in the 18-book series. Yeah, that's why it took me so long to finish the whole series. So Saturday, I got to sleep in again, so I'm using a big ol' half box to mark that, because I'm using day extenders this week. So I finally have a big enough box to fit in the script, and an emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. below that without overlapping. So it's a really cute little sleeping emoji. And then there is a fancy label below that I'm using to mark that I brushed my hair that day, which is taking a lot less time than it used to. It used to take like about 45 minutes, but now I can do it in about 20. And I'm using my own stickers to mark that. I drew that sticker. Not the font. That's like just a typical font I use, but the brush and the little gobs of hair. that was what I drew, and that looks like my brush too. And then I did more laundry. I think I folded laundry, but I just wanted to use the Laundry Time foil script for that, and a laundry icon from another sampler in the third box to mark that. And then the fancy label below that I'm pairing with a gold foiled phone from, I think that's from Samantha May Sticks, if I'm not mistaken, to mark that I texted Carson somewhere. And the fancy label below, not the little thing below that, is to mark Family Guy again. The half box, you'll see me kind of struggle with this. I'm using it to mark that I watched Cinderella, I think the live action one, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think that's the original first one. I was just starting to rewatch all of the Cinderella movies. I'm definitely using the Once More with Love little Cinderella sticker and the popcorn there, but I was kind of uncertain about whether I was going to write in Cinderella or use the movie foil script from the SPC sheet. I end up using that sticker. I end up putting it in later, so you'll see that later. So I'm kind of leaving it blank for now before I format it, but that's what's going there. And then the quarter box below that with the Munchkin from Once More with Love is to mark that I filmed. I filmed a haul that day, but I didn't have room to write haul. So the only record of that being a haul will be this video. So then on Sunday, the fancy label is again marking work with a little budgeting. I think that's Chip the Chihuahua from Sweet Davis paper. I'm using another work script. And then another quarter box with a stack of books from a sampler to mark that I finished the first Pretty Little Liars book. I guess it went by really fast. And then another little thing to mark watching more Family Guy. And then below that, I'm using a strip from the kit to mark that I made some White Russians, or I guess I made one, and I drank it that evening because I was having kind of a bad day. And I'm using a little clinking wine glasses icon from the wiggle to mark that. And then a strip below that, I was feeling super lonely that day, so I used an emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. to mark that. It's from, I think, the sadness sheet or something like that, where she's like holding a pillow. It kind of made sense to me. And then it was also Father's Day, which is still really sad that I was feeling lonely on Father's Day. I was going to call my parents, but I thought they were really busy and they didn't call me, so that contributed to it, definitely. But I'm using the Father's Day script from the holidays sheet with Jessica's handwriting, and then a little heart icon from the kit to mark that. Honestly, I think there was probably a heart icon from the wiggle too that I just forgot about. Otherwise, I may have used that, but there also may not have been room. Anyway, so that pretty much finishes off that. I am putting in some of the little dividers from an SPC sampler, the little foil dividers, so I'm just sticking those in random places. You'll see me doing that now, just because I left some bigger spaces between some of the boxes that I thought needed to be filled in a little bit, so, and I wanted to have a reason to use those, because I wasn't sure I would use them in a white space week. I thought they looked really pretty. So I forgot to zoom out here, so you'll see a lot of hands, but not a lot of stickers being put down because I forgot to zoom out, but you'll see that in a minute. I am also going to put down all of the little deco. There's a ton, so I put a lot in the top and then a lot in the bottom. I used the weekend banner from the kit and from the wiggle. They don't perfectly line up, but I still overlapped them anyway because I couldn't think of anywhere else to put the wiggle weekend banner, and I wanted to use both. I think it still looks cool. It's kind of a cool effect. And then I am using the foil photo corners from the wiggle too. I really love using those. And I think it all turned out really well. I'm really pleased with it. As you can see, I did kind of struggle with the bottom washi. So the right side is like crooked and the bottom washi from the kit is like too long, so it goes all the way to the bottom of the page, whereas it doesn't on the left side. But then on the left side, I messed up putting down the foil overlay on the 15mm strip, so there's like white lines there, but I think they look kind of cool. They kind of match the marbly effect of the kit, so it's not terribly noticeable. And then on the left side in the quote box, the full box I put there, I messed up the overlay on that as well. It's way crooked. But you can only see it if you look really closely, so don't look closely. But other than that, I think it's gorgeous. I think the foil's gorgeous, and the entire week looks really good. I am very happy with how this turned out, especially with how I managed to fit all the boxes in for doing some white space, because I was really worried about that. I kept thinking, oh, I need all these half boxes. Oh no, the kit doesn't have enough half boxes, what am I going to do? But like, honestly, you almost never have room to use half boxes with this type of planning. If I'm doing kits in the future, I'm going to look for more quarter boxes and little blank washi strips instead of pattern ones, and like little things. Those I'm going to need a lot more, and fancy labels. Those are the perfect size. I would really enjoy stocking up on fancy labels, so I'm probably going to buy a bunch of the fancy label sheets from SPC. I have the spring colorway, but I may need to stock up on more for that purpose. These are a lot of things that I never would have thought about before doing some white space, but I really love it. I love how it turned out, and I want to keep doing it. The bougie boxes worked really well as well. It's going to be harder using the tapes, I think, because I've heard that the tapes are really hard to rip. But I'm going to have to figure that out, because this is the only flat sheet of bougie boxes that I got. The rest is going to have to just be tapes. So something I am willing to figure out. And my little makeshift day extenders worked really well too. You can almost not even tell that it's just printer paper I used and glued down. And I think it's kind of easier than an actual sticker too, because I can't imagine how evil it would be to try to match up a full box sticker onto an actual sticky surface, because it would stick in the wrong place, and you'd have to peel it up, and then you'd rip the sticker and chaos would ensue. So I kind of like my way better, and I may just like try to cut a bunch for myself out of just normal paper. I think it might be too thin paper to do it in the silhouette because I don't know how well it works with paper that thin, but I could try it because that would be really useful. And then I would want to get like a tape roller. I have one at my parents' house, but I don't have one here. So that could kind of be, instead of using like glue, which is the only thing, I don't even have a glue stick, so I was using like actual paper glue. So that would be a better solution for that. They're just kind of me thinking out loud on how I would do this in the future. But as for that, also I just want to point out that I had no idea that using day extenders would give me 2 extra boxes of you know, smaller box space, in addition to having room to put down 1 more full box. I thought I was only getting room for 1 more full box and then 1 more space to put in like daily activities. So it was a huge like surprise bonus that I had enough room for 2 more days worth of things. So that's like a really cool thing for me to keep in mind in the future, so I can use more half boxes and stuff. I think that's kind of all I wanted to say. I do want more foil scripts though. Like that's one thing I need to really stock up on, because I have a lot, but I definitely don't have enough. Like there's a lot more that I would have wanted to get. Like I don't think I have any. I may have grocery strips from SBC, but I would want some in smaller sizes. And there's a lot of other scripts from other shops that I want to get, so I'm gonna have to really think about that. I want to check out art box stickers. I have a ton that I want from her shop, so eventually I'm gonna have to pull the trigger and place a big old order for all of her foil scripts if she's having a sale or something. But yeah, there's probably a lot more shops out there with foil scripts, so let me know what your favorites are and I'll check them out, because that's something I definitely need to add to my collection at some point. But enough of me jabbering. You've seen the spread, and probably by now you've already seen me do the wiggle in the light after finding the right lighting. It is super gorgeous, and yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to like, comment, subscribe, and share, that would be amazing. And I will see you in my next video. Ciao.